Welcome back to Callahan's Corner. We ask the questions and answer them live right here on Facebook. Had a user submitted question inside the Service Autopilot Facebook group regarding web-based forms and tracking lead sources, as far as whether they came from a Facebook ad or they came from your website, or maybe they came from a an email blast and you sent them to an actual form. So the question really was around how do we set up lead source tracking and forms to actually track the lead source for your marketing. So I'm going to show you how to set that up, as well as how to set up the campaign within the lead source tracking to actually get the data out automatically. So this is a piece that a lot of people miss. So I want to make sure we spend some time, and it's something that we take time and actually look at when we do our essay setups and deep dives as well as part of the training. So what we've got here is Service Autopilot. First place we want to actually go is into the gear icon and go into client source. And what we're going to do is create a lead source here. And once we set up this lead source, we're going to be able to set up the lead source so it is applied to either the intake inside the office, a web form, or if you're driving them through an email. So I'm going to call this our Facebook lawn care ad with picture, or with pic. And what we're going to do here is add this. We're going to come back later, but we're going to add the marketing campaigns in here. So let's say if we were going in from June 1st to June 30th, and we don't have a distribution quantity, but we know we're going to budget $3,000. We would set that in. And by doing such, it would give us the ability here to track the attribution of that area here. So we put that in. Now, if this was a door hanger, we could say, hey, we put out 10,000 door hangers for $3,000. So that's the first thing we want to do, is set up the lead source and if there's any campaigns around that. So we're going to say it's a Facebook ad, and we don't know the distribution quantity, but we know it's going to run for the whole month, and we're going to hit save. So now that that's set up, there's two different ways of actually setting this up. So the first of one is a V2 form. And we want to have a couple things set up here. So we'd want to show on timeline, send internal email to notify probably, any tags on submit, and auto proof create on submit is one of the most important ones. The final one here is we want to create and update the lead and select the source. So that is our Facebook ad for lawn care. And you can see in this account, we've had quite a bit here because this goes all the way back to 2018. We've been doing this. But if that was the actual source that we had set originally, that would be the one we would tie it to. So we'd go in and grab the Facebook lead source in there and hit save and close. And that would actually take care of that. The second option here is if we're in a V3 form, we would scroll down and click into how did you hear about us? And we would set in the settings the different lead source options where the client can click in. So if we're driving Facebook ads or things that we want to non-emotionally track, I'm going to rec probably a V2 form where it automatically sets it. And when we go in and save and close that, we can go in and publish here. And the version of the form we would give to our webmaster would be the stripped form. And they could take this code and customize it to make it friendly on your website and brand it to your brand awareness. So we're going to set up the lead source. We're going to go in under sources and set up the campaign. Then we're building the form and tying in the actual lead source on here. And then I will show you the final step here. But if we had our form in the V2, we're setting it to auto create on submit, and submit on and connect to the lead source. In V3, once we get into settings and edits here, we would set up a lead source tracking here as a drop down. Extra step, so it may not be as effective. Final step here is if we're going in workflow wise, we should be training our team. And this is what we do in a lot of our live or virtual training, is we should be going into the gear icon, adding a lead in when they call, filling out all the main information here. Second tab, details, the account type, commercial or residential. And finally, sales. How did you hear about us? The door hanger. By doing such now, All the data comes in. So when you want to know your lead source tracking, you know, how many people came from each lead source, your average closing ratio, and with some math or custom a report inside the report builder, which is Logi, we can probably get our client lifetime value per lead source. So Callahan's Corner, you asked questions. We had some live right here in Facebook, lead source tracking forms and Popper workflow to track and capture that lead source inside your office on a day-to-day basis.